Hi again, Year 10. It's lesson 2 of week 6 now, and we're looking at schools of the future. So, El Cole del Futuro. So that's your title again. So write the title and today's date, El Cole del Futuro, and the date. The starter I would like you to do is to just look at these three questions here. How do you say I will be, he will have, you will read? So really quick starter, please. Date, title, starter, off you go. So I've assumed you paused the video and you've now moved on. So how do you say I will be? Still having trouble with the computer. Seré. I will be is seré. So it's ser with the E with an accent on the end. How do you say he will have? This is the irregular one. Tendrá. So I can't speak today. Tendrá. He will have. How do you say you, singular, will read? Leerás. Or leeréis if it were plural. Seré, tendrá, leerás. Okay, so that was your starters. It's recapped what we did what we did in the previous lesson. And moving on, I don't know what's going on here. We've got translation tasks to do and reading and listening. So we're going to start off with a listening task today, and it's a reading as well. So you have got, excuse me, a listening to focus on. They're going to be telling you what sort of facilities their school has, and I want you please to write down the things that are mentioned. Now there are 10 possible things here. We've got let's have a look here. Biblioteca, piscina cubierta, campo de fútbol, ordenadores portátiles, tecnología interactivas, cuadernos tradicionales, sala de juegos, seguridad, horarios, and comidas. That should be sana. I'm just going to change that because it's annoying me. Sana. So all of these things may or may not be mentioned in the listening. So I'm going to get you to as well. Sorry, I'm just going to have a look here. Here is what you're going to be listening to. All right. So go back to this one. Write down, please. What you need to write down is something like escuchar, and then have a sort of one eye on that, thinking about what are you listening out for, and here is what you're listening to. So first of all, which facilities get mentioned? All right, so it's this one here, and here's the listening.
Página 59. Ejercicio 4. Escucha y lee. ¿Qué se menciona? Escribe las letras correctas.
Okay, so listen carefully. If you hear one of these 10 things mentioned, then you write down the letter. Here it is.
En tu opinión, Nuria, ¿cómo será el colegio del futuro?
El colegio del futuro será distinto y mejor, claro.
¿Cuántos alumnos habrá en el colegio?
El colegio tendrá muchos alumnos, porque nuestra población será mayor. Tendrá por lo menos 2.000 alumnos.
¿A qué hora empezará el colegio y a qué hora terminará?
Empezará a las 8 de la mañana y terminará a las 8 de la tarde.
¿Qué estudiarás tú en el colegio?
Estudiaré bachillerato, pero otros jóvenes harán ciclos formativos para aprender un oficio, por ejemplo, mecánico.
¿Qué harán los profesores?
Los profesores enseñarán a los alumnos de la misma manera, pero no habrá cuadernos para corregir, porque los deberes no existirán.
Vaya. ¿Y cómo serán las aulas?
Las aulas serán muy modernas y cada alumno tendrá su propio portátil.
¡Qué guay! aunque al ser tan grande será peligroso.
No te preocupes, el colegio del futuro estará muy bien organizado y habrá un sistema de seguridad muy efectivo. No habrá violencia entre los estudiantes. Todos estudiaremos juntos sin problemas.
Okay, so I've played that through once and you can go back and listen to it again. Now it's a bit up to you how much challenge you want to give yourself here, because you've got the sound file there which I've played, and listening to that you're working out which of these things get mentioned. But it's quite a lot of information, it's quite long. So you may want to look at it with this slide in front of you, which is the audio script. Okay, so if you have that slide in front of you and think, right, what's being mentioned, that may help you quite a lot. So pause it now. I've showed you enough times this page here and this page here. You can go between the two of them and then pause the video and do the work and work out which ones of these were mentioned. Move on when you're ready. Okay, so I'm assuming you've now done that. You may have just listened to the sound file. You may have read the transcript or the audio script as well. What you should have got for the letters of the things mentioned, they mentioned ordenadores portátiles, because she said, let me just find where it was. It was cada alumno tendrá su propio portátil. Each student will have their own laptop. And this is what this means. Portable computers, laptops. They also mentioned cuadernos tradicionales, because she said that the students or the teachers would teach in the same way, but there wouldn't be cuadernos para corregir, porque los deberes no existirán. So there won't be books to correct because you won't get homework. Seguridad was mentioned as well, because he said, oh, if it's such a big school, it might be dangerous with it's so big, I suppose it'd be difficult to control. And she said, no, there will be un sistema de seguridad muy efectivo. There'd be a very good security systems. And they also mentioned timetables, and that was right at the beginning when they talked about school starting at 8 and finishing at 8. So those were the ones that were mentioned. We didn't hear about the library or the sports facilities or interactive whiteboards or food. Okay, so well done if you did that. And it may have taken you a while to sort of listen to it and read it through, but well done, you'll have got a lot of information from it. Okay, so we're going to move on and we're going to use that, the text you've just seen. I want you now to read the conversation again that you listened to, and are the statements 1 to 8, are they true, false, or not mentioned? So some of it you will have got from the previous correction we just did, but I'm just going to go back to, so I'm going up and down between things. This is the text you will want to read again for this. Here are the questions that you need to answer. Okay, so 1 to 8, are they true, false, not mentioned? Pause the video, do the work, and start again when you're ready. Okay, so I'm assuming that you have now started again and you've decided which of these were true or false. So, according to Nuria, the future school will be better. Is that true, false, or not mentioned? It is true. She said, será distinto y mejor. And that's written in the text, in the transcript. So it'll be better, it'll be different and better. Future school will not have more than 1,000 pupils. That's false, isn't it? Because she said, tendrá por lo menos 2,000 alumnos. It'll have at least 2,000 students. Future school will be open for 12 hours a day. Es verdad, that's true. She said, empezará a las 8 de la mañana, terminará a las 8 de la tarde. It'll open at 8 in the morning, close at 8 at night. Will you be able to study for apprenticeship? Oh, sorry, I've skipped one. No cars allowed on the road by the school. That wasn't mentioned. We didn't hear anything about coches and calle and that sort of thing. Will you be able to study for an apprenticeship? Yes, you will. she said, aprender un oficio. That's if you mark that in your, if you want to print out maybe the transcript, un oficio is the word for an apprenticeship. Por ejemplo, mecánico, so like a mechanic. Teachers will still have lots of books to mark. We know that's false because we saw that in the previous exercise. No habrán cuadernos tradicionales. Will there be interactive whiteboards in each classroom? She didn't mention that at all. And could the school have problems with violence? False. No, they said there would be a very good security system in place. Okay, so there's a massive amount of work and of vocab in that reading that you've just done and the listening. So that's where the lesson finishes today. If you have time to go back or maybe print out a copy of the transcript, you can then highlight verbs and vocab that you can use in your own speaking and writing later. But for the moment, adiós y hasta pronto. Gracias.